Good afternoon, everyone. This is Riley with Midwest Market Management, bringing you the Thursday, May 21st rendition of U.S. weather from a national yield perspective. Just stuck with me today. Clint was unavailable, so with that said, I'm not much of a pre-map talker, so let's just get right into the maps. So first thing I do want to look at, 1 to 5 day temperatures. This has really changed from the beginning of the week to now. Was talking about temperatures in the 50s and 60s, which is what we're in currently, especially here in Iowa right now, highs in the low to mid 50s. But as we're looking ahead after this little cold snap, temperatures starting to look a little bit better. Even if you look all the way in the northern states, Dakota's in the upper 60s, low 70s. And then as you go south, obviously it's getting warmer. And then 6 to 10 day even shows getting up into average temperatures in the 80s in almost all of the US growing regions. So really good to see there and definitely needed. A lot of areas need some heat, but that also comes with some regions in the West that really need some rain. And if they get too much heat, then it's going to be an issue. But when it's 70 something degree temperatures, it's not exactly something that's going to torch a crop. So one thing that did come out today, drought monitor map. If we look at it, first I'm going to skip ahead to last week's map. You can see not a lot of color in the Midwest. As you go, obviously Nebraska has been extremely dry, so is South Dakota. And then down in the Delta has been extremely dry as well. So when we go back, what's changed? Not really much on the terms of Delta, still very dry. Nebraska, very dry. But some color starting to be added back into this belt that was originally not showing anything last week. So you can see almost all of the northwest quarter of Iowa is now showing some color, and regions of Illinois starting to pop up on the drought monitor map now too. So the reality is, though, we're sitting on May 19th. There's a long way to go and a lot of potential rain to help people out, but this is something worth watching really, really closely week to week. What's going to cause a rally from the markets for U.S. crops? It's going to be a drought. Rain makes grain is fully the mentality at this stage in the game. So seeing more color pop up on the map is definitely more of a bullish factor than a bearish factor. But like we talk about on this broadcast too, if you're going to really impact a crop, you need drought and heat. So as of right now, areas do have drought, but the heat's not really coming to torch them yet either. So there's still time for Band-Aids to be put on and areas to get some help. So moving ahead now, last 2 weeks of rainfall. This kind of tells you it's hard to believe the drought's expanding in Illinois and Iowa. There has been some decent amount of rain, but you think about it, 2 weeks, areas have gotten 2+ inches. Missouri getting quite a bit of rain, 3+. But there are regions that are still sub 1 inch, especially in the West over the last couple of weeks. And when those areas were already dry, that's not going to help out the cause any. So there has been some rains. There are people that have plenty of water right now. And then there's people on the exact opposite side of the spectrum as well. So looking ahead, 1 to 5 day precip. This has changed quite a bit this week too. Weather models haven't been able to quite make up their minds. First, one thing that has stayed constant, the Delta looks to be getting a fairly significant amount of rain over the next 5 days. That is definitely something they want to see, and their crops are a lot further along down there, so getting more rain will definitely help them out. So switching gears here too, compared to Tuesday, we were showing rain in the 1 to 5 hitting way western Nebraska, western Kansas, and that rain has actually shifted, now showing a decent amount of rain in really prime growing areas of Nebraska and Kansas. South Dakota still looks to be staying further to the west, but these areas that are really dry and crucially need some rain look like they might be getting it. So that's definitely trying to help the bears out a little bit today too. So moving ahead, 6 to 10 day. Rainfall in the Delta has lessened actually in this since we were looking at it on Tuesday, but still a decent amount of rain being shown for those guys out east where they want to start missing some rains here. They are, but at the same time, by the time we're getting to May 30th, they're going to be in the mindset of wanting rain as well. So that's hard to put into perspective. But continuing to look at that western belt that is really dry, though, over the next 10 days, they've got a decent amount of rain in the forecast. So how much of it will actually come, we'll have to wait and see. But this could definitely help them get by for another couple weeks. And by the time you're getting into mid-June to July, if there's no major drought concerns, that tells you a decent amount of area to the majority of the growing region will be having a crop. The question is figuring out how big or small that yield potential could be from there. But this early on in the year, especially moving into the 1 to 13 day, a lot of rain in the forecast is the overall consensus. And where am I going with that? From a national yield perspective, the possibility for a trend line yield is definitely obtainable. We saw last year, 186.5 was the national yield. No one thought that was even remotely possible. And as of right now, the expected yield for this year's crop is a 183. So as of today, it is certainly a possible feat to accomplish, but we got a long way to go and a lot of things can change. So gonna have to stay tuned to the weather and see what's going on there. That is it here today for U.S. weather from a national yield perspective. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to reach out to us at any time. Thank you to Marcus Weather Maps or Marcus Weather Group for getting us these weather maps to use, and hope everybody has a great Memorial weekend. Thank you.
This material has been prepared by a sales or trading employee or agent of Midwest Market Management and is in the nature of a solicitation. This material is not a research report prepared by of Midwest Market Management Research Department. By accepting this communication, you agree that you are an experienced user of the futures markets capable of making independent trading decisions, and agree that you are not and will not rely solely on this communication in making trading decisions. Distribution in some jurisdictions may be prohibited or restricted by law. Persons in possession of this communication indirectly should inform themselves about and observe any such prohibition or restrictions. To the extent that you have received this communication indirectly and solicitations are prohibited in your jurisdiction without registration, the market commentary in this communication should not be considered a solicitation. The risk of loss in trading futures and/or options is substantial, and each investor and/or trader must consider whether this is a suitable investment. Past performance, whether actual or indicated by simulated historical tests of strategies, is not indicative of future results. Trading advice is based on information taken from trades and statistical services and other sources that of Midwest Market Management believes are reliable. We do not guarantee that such information is accurate or complete, and it should not be relied upon as such. Trading advice reflects our good faith judgment at a specific time and is subject to change without notice. There is no guarantee that the advice we give will result in profitable trades.